Why did HR make my manager read his own dress code complaint against me 3 times? I was sitting in HR watching my manager Kevin demand I get fired immediately. He had photos of me taken secretly over 6 weeks. 3 employees had filed complaints. HR was reviewing everything and looking concerned. Kevin kept using the word termination period, all because of what I wore to work. This started after Kevin got passed over for promotion again. I remember him coming back from that meeting, slamming his office door so hard the motivational posters shook. He began documenting my arrival times, bathroom breaks, how long I took responding to emails. I'd catch him scribbling in this little notebook whenever I walked past. Then he zeroed in on my Wednesday shirt, a navy button-up with tiny pineapples on it. First week, he just stared. I was refilling my coffee and felt eyes on me. Kevin was standing by the printer, not printing anything, just watching my shirt like it had personally insulted him. Second week, he started taking photos, not even trying to be subtle about it. I was explaining a spreadsheet to an intern when I heard that fake camera shutter sound. Kevin was right behind us, phone aimed at my chest. The intern looked confused. I just kept talking. By week 3, he was camping at my desk every Wednesday with his phone out, documenting what he called evidence. He told other managers I was deliberately provoking him, said the pineapples were a coded message about his leadership. I actually laughed when Janet from HR mentioned it at lunch, but then coworkers started pulling me aside, whispering warnings. Kevin had been filing reports. He'd done this before to someone who got the promotion he wanted. That person ended up transferred to the Detroit office. Nobody transfers to Detroit by choice. Week 6, Kevin smiled at me in the break room, this creepy little grin, and said, "Wednesday's going to be different next week." My stomach dropped. I didn't know he'd already scheduled the HR meeting. Tuesday morning in HR, Kevin's attack started immediately. He walked in carrying a folder thick enough to beat someone with. 3 identical complaints from his golf buddies in accounting, calling my pineapples aggressive tropical imagery. I had to bite my tongue to keep from laughing. These guys were 2 floors up. I'd maybe seen them twice by the coffee machine. Kevin had prepared a whole PowerPoint. This man made a PowerPoint about my shirt. Slide 1 showed our team's 2% productivity drop with a big red arrow pointing down, like the entire economy wasn't in a slump. Slide 2 had photos of me wearing the shirt, taken from different angles like it was a crime scene. He'd zoomed in on individual pineapples and circled them in red. One photo showed me mid-bite of my sandwich, mouth open, with arrows pointing at my chest like I was some kind of tropical fruit terrorist. Slide 3 demanded immediate termination. The word termination was in 72-point font, bold, underlined. HR started taking this seriously. They were writing things down, nodding. My palms were sweating. Kevin stood up, his chair screeching against the floor, and said more employees were afraid to come forward. He claimed I was creating a hostile pattern of intimidation through coded imagery. He actually used air quotes. He wanted termination, or at minimum, 3 days unpaid suspension, and a final warning. My heart was hammering so hard, I was sure everyone could hear it. Kevin pulled out a prepared statement, cleared his throat like he was about to deliver the Gettysburg Address, and started reading about how managers like him had to protect the workplace from subtle forms of aggression. He was building to something bigger, getting louder, more dramatic. His face was getting red. He said he had one final piece of evidence that would prove I was deliberately undermining him. He reached for his phone with this triumphant look. That's when HR stopped him with a question. They asked him to confirm what day it was. Tuesday, he said, looking confused. They asked about the quarterly board meeting. I saw it happen. The exact moment his brain caught up. His hand froze mid-reach. They asked him to describe what he was wearing. He looked down at his bright pink golf polo with a massive country club logo. The board meeting requiring business professional dress had been moved to Tuesday. Kevin had forgotten. Kevin tried to explain he thought it was Thursday. HR pulled up the company calendar. The meeting reminder was right there. They opened the employee handbook to the dress code section. Board meeting days required business professional attire. Kevin argued that managers had different standards. HR asked him to read his own complaint out loud. The part about violating dress code shows disrespect for the company. His voice got quiet. They said they needed it louder for the recording. He read it again, voice shaking. They asked him to read the specific line that said, "Managers must model appropriate professional standards." By the 3rd time, you could barely hear him. He was standing there in his golf clothes they wore to impress executives, except he'd worn them on the wrong day, reading his own words about dress code violations. The room was completely silent except for his whispered reading. Kevin had to apologize to me right there, still wearing that pink polo. HR made him sit while they pulled up his file. 12 previous complaints in 2 years, all against people who'd gotten promotions he wanted. One about someone's lunch smelling weird, another about breathing too loud. I was free to go. My shirt was fine. Kevin got written up for harassment. Month of management training. People started wearing fruit patterns to mess with him. Cherries, lemons, tiny bananas. He couldn't complain without looking stupid again. Last week, Kevin transferred himself to the satellite office across town.